Let's start with the U.S. strategy towards Afghanistan, Trump's decisions, and recently Defense Secretary Mattis was in South Asia seeking help from India in fighting terrorism in the region. What do you think, what's your thoughts about new policy?
I think we're heading in a bit of the right direction. Regional support is critical, not only from India, but from Pakistan. I believe that I just heard former ambassador to Pakistan, Haqqani, talk about the pressure must be put on some of these regional players to support the effort. But we're talking about true pressure, not just talks. Talks are not pressure. Actions are pressure, and I believe that is where the way the policy is heading. As far as the rest, the initial point of the new policy, security, critical. Without security, even as a young private in the Army, you understand that without security you cannot do anything. But that also includes security out into the rural areas. Those rural areas are the key to the success of Afghanistan.
Do you think U.S. policy using India help will be effective in the region in fighting terrorism, especially as Pakistan is resisting? Pakistan is not really happy about it. What's your thoughts?
I think it will be helpful because more than military, I think India will bring an economical push into Afghanistan, which will force Pakistan to rethink their approach. Right now, as you probably well know, again, my knowledge is a little dated since I haven't been in Afghanistan in the last several years, but they're afraid of going into the FATA, into the tribal area, which is clearly the biggest concern for some of our fights, some of the counterterrorism fight and in the counterinsurgency fight in that region. So I think India pushing in economically and with the diplomacy will kind of bring Pakistan along and also have with the support of the U.S. using India as a lever.
After 16 years of U.S. presence in Afghanistan, what has U.S. got right and what have went wrong in war against terrorism, especially when it comes to Afghanistan?
What we got right, we took the fight to the terrorists in the hills of Bora Bora, in the mountains, and in the outlying areas of the Pakistan-Afghanistan border. Unfortunately, I think, in my opinion, one of the things we have neglected to do is allow the Afghans to push for themselves. One of the key notes of the new policy is accountability. No matter how hard I fight for you, eventually, if you don't fight for yourself, you're going to fall. At some point, I can only fight for you so long, and you have to stand up for on your own. And I got it. We are building their military, and we're providing them with the support that they need. But soldiers do not control the government. Leaders control the government, and those leaders come out of Kabul. Those leaders come out of Sharana or the provincial centers, and that is going to be what wins the country. The accountability and taking accountability and ownership of your land.
So what is your perspective of local warlords? Who are they and how they differ from local people who support them?
I definitely met some and worked with some. And for the most part, a lot of people think warlords, bad thing, obviously warlord. But that warlord, in many places, brought that bit of justice to the location. If there was a Taliban effort that was out of control and it was trying to attack a village, there were certain warlords that would protect that village. Now I got it. Sometimes they did things kind of out of the ordinary, But they gave that sense of security to that area. Now, some of them, were recognized by President Karzai as, as kind of unofficial police in the regions. Now, is that the way ahead? No, everybody has to be brought into the fold. But with the lack of anything else, people gravitate to the people that are providing their safety.
So recently, maybe you heard about Prince offering that contractors should take over security in Afghanistan. Can you comment on that, like Blackwater, and if they send contractors in Afghanistan, can they secure Afghanistan?
See, they're not an army, with hundreds of thousands of troops. They're not a country, so their efforts and their support, while very skilled, they're limited. So they'll be able to secure certain areas. Again, the high target areas, the Kabuls, the embassies, places like that. What happens to where the people are? What happens to in general to those outer landing areas? There are the center of gravity, for the entire fight. And one thing I think we all kind of forget, that while it's still a war on terrorism, it's still at its basic essence is a counterinsurgency that we're fighting. We have to win the people. Eventually they have to get tired of being unsecured, and either demand the government to provide that and do something about it, or we're going to lose that.